Are you trying to get your shift together?
Welcome to the Shift Sisters podcast, where real conversations inspire real transformations. We're not experts, but we're experiencers. I'm Sandra.
And I'm Jennifer Richter.
We're your Shift Sisters.
Whether you're shifting like a sloth or it looks like you're having an exorcism, this is your space to breathe, reflect, and remember. We're here to talk shift with you.
Welcome back, Shifties. We are still in the Career Shift series, and today we're going to hop into a really interesting topic, which is, I am sick of this job, or is my job making me ill? So we're going to talk about some of the things that people tend to do in workplace environments that may either support or hurt their health. And I don't think we talk enough about this, and I'm really curious to hear about your thoughts and perspective, Jen. But today, that's what we're going to talk about. So before we get started in our podcast, I'd love to do a check-in. So Jen, how are you feeling today? My co-host, my co-worker in life and co-worker in joy. How are you feeling today?
I am waiting with bated breath because I don't know why I had all of a sudden Dolly Parton vibes from you. And I thought, I thought you were going to sing a new rendition of 9 to 5, but talking about getting out of here instead of working 9 to 5. So I was waiting. I was like, oh, give it to me. And then you're just being normal and serious. That's how I am. I'm waiting for the concert.
I wish I would have known that. I have to belt out 9 to 5 now. I know all the words, but
I know, right? So, yep, that's how I'm doing. I'm always excited to be here with you. You're the best coworker I could ever have. I mean, we have an amazing time. We're great and creative, and we get things done, and we have grit, and we do work through hard things. So I'm happy to be your coworker.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I love that we can be flexible together because sometimes life needs it, and being able to be communicative and open. So I as well am really honored to be your coworker as well. And today I am feeling excited. I don't know, every time, you and I have conversations, I always feel fueled and I always feel ready to go. So I'm in that really great, energetic, high vibing space today.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not going to lie. I feel like I'm about to get fired. I don't know how I feel about you in Black. It makes me super nervous, and I'm like, shit, I would not want to work for Sandra right now, because if she came in somewhere dressed in black like this, it makes her look very serious, and she's not going to play. So you might lose your job if she's walking in black.
I'm telling you, black is not.
Colors tell a lot of details about somebody.
Yes. It's funny because that black was like my uniform in New York. And when I came to Florida, I was like, whoa, I'm going to just, it's a recent thing,
So
girl.
I was going to say, just that recent? Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Black so it was blacks and grays and colors like that. Yes, girl.
Shut the front door. How were you miserable and have anxiety all the time?
Well, I'm telling you, my life has shifted since, going to the Sunshine State and adding some color to my life, and didn't realize how much I loved it. So I just didn't wear black when I was in Florida, and then Texas, I every now and then. But yeah, that is a newer thing for me. If you ask my friends from before, you could, they'll give you the lowdown on that.
Okay.
Awesome. So, sip. So this is tart cherry juice with chamomile. You could buy it together at the supermarket in the health section.
What? They have it
together,
mixed together already?
Yes. I will send you a link, or, we could look at it, but yes. And, I bought it for my nighttime routine. So I have a cup of this with some magnesium in it because tart cherry juice has a compound that promotes sleep. So
how do you mix magnesium in it? Is it just like a dropper?
No, I
do the capsule?
I open up my capsule.
And it blends up okay?
Yes. For me, it's okay. It's a little gritty, on the top, but, to each his own.
Do you not like taking capsules? Is that why?
Girl, I can't swallow pills. So
even with the trick I tried to show you, and it's a no-go?
It's a no-go. It's a
Hmm,
no-go. So I
okay.
open them up and I put them in drinks, like, it's like I'm drugging myself.
I roofied myself
I
today.
know.
No. Does it
God
does
forbid
it
someone
taste,
comes in and sees
like,
my night.
chalky, or can you taste the magnesium out of it?
No, I don't, no.
Interesting.
Um, the tart cherry juice and chamomile is not very sweet either, so it's not
Sure.
like, so, I add a little, like, garnish to it like I did with this orange and,
Mhm.
drink it right before I go to sleep. I didn't put magnesium because I'm not ready for sleep now,
Yeah, you don't wanna
but,
do that in the daytime.
I don't wanna fall asleep on this podcast. So but it's definitely a part of my, like, nightly ritual if I don't drink, like, my, ginger latte or a
Mhm.
turmeric teas at night as well.
Yeah.
So that's
Interesting.
a part of my routine that I'm sharing with you and everyone else.
Love it.
Awesome. Since that shift, Jen, where are we in terms of a scent that can help support us?
Well, I've got a scent that, you're either gonna love it or hate it if you like those wood smells, those wood scents, the really earthy stuff, then you'll like it. It's called guaiaca wood, and some people try to say that it's like Palo Santo, and it's not. It's not Palo Santo, but it does smell pretty earthy. And the reason I picked this is when I went into the Essential Emotions app that I use to pair with what's going on in my body or life, I went into the app and I hit the body section and then I looked at the stomach. And the reason is when we are in a work environment and we are unhappy for any reason, right? There's a number of reasons you could be unhappy for. The first place that I'm going to say you're going to feel it consistently is your stomach. You might
100%.
feel like, ooh, am I getting sick? Am I getting nauseous? Am I coming down with something? Or it's, the stomach with anxiety, or you're like, oh no, I'm about to have disaster pants. I got to run to the bathroom. It starts in the stomach. And the reason is our stomach is our processing department, right? It
Yeah.
processes our food, it processes information. And so I picked the stomach, which says it's the library of the gut and intuitive feelings, beliefs shaped by past experiences, which is interesting because then once you hear about this career shift and your body things, I don't know if we've thought before about like are we looking at this through a lens of a past experience?
Oh.
So, right? So that might be something. It addresses feelings of anxious, fearful, hopelessness, terrified, or unsupported. So the oil itself is the oil of self discovery.
Mm.
So guaiaca wood is a unique healer distilled from the heartwood of the tree. It creates a resonance with the heart of each person who experiences it. This oil connects to the innermost thoughts and feelings and reveals obscured spiritual and emotional blockages. It is especially beneficial when individuals are feeling overwhelmed, confused, and and that they've lost part of themselves somehow. It
Mm.
helps them see that they are known, understood, and worthy of healing. Guaisha wood teaches that true peace comes only after an individual has connected to what they are running from. Each individual is encouraged, to meditate with this oil and discover how it will speak to them personally. Guaisha wood will guide them on their path of self discovery. So I think that's really awesome because you talked about the 5 stages, and in those 5 stages is really that evaluation time. And I would encourage you to use this oil during that meditation time, evaluation time. You can
Yeah.
literally just simply put it in your hand. You can diffuse it. You can put it on the back of your neck, where it's like at the base of your brain stem. All of those things, it's going to pass the blood brain barrier and it's going to give you all the benefits. So that's what we've got
Amazing.
today.
Now you smell like wood.
Smells like
Do you
a little bit, you know how the smell after a campfire is over?
Yes.
That's what it smells like for me.
Oh, I like that. I like that,
Mm-hmm.
like, that smell. So, I have to look. I've never heard of this. Guaisha wood.
Aisha would. Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, Jen, I'm sick of this job. Is your job making you ill? Let's get into it. So, we take for granted that work takes up a major part of many people's lives, right? So some people work 7, 8, 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. Some people work remotely. Some people are a CEO and have different levels of responsibility. So thinking about work in general, right? What I wanted to do today is think about, are there habits that we are doing that may inhibit health, promote health? Maybe there's different ways for us to do things. I want us to get a sense of if our job is really supporting us, not only financially, but in a health standpoint as well. So, Jen, when did you think about, you talked about in the last episode that we just had about having a work environment with the colors and the lights and all the different things. And what I want to do is start off with kind of the physical environment of a workplace. So when you think about the physical environment, what are some triggers or some things for you that come to mind that may inhibit health?
Absolutely. Disorganization, even hoarding, like, I'm serious, like, massive hoarding and cluttering, in an environment that is supposed to be a business or, a work environment of some kind. The colors, the lighting, does it have natural light? Does it have fake light? Any light at all? Like, are you working in a closet? What's going on? How clean it is? What are they cleaning with? Girl, I got a lot of requirements. I don't know. That's why I have to work for myself and work from home because nobody can meet my standards.
Well, the thing is, you make it work for you, right? Like you
I
figured
do.
out how to have that financial support through creating your own environment. And
Mhm.
once again, anyone can make anything for themselves that really works. So
Yeah.
let's just think about breaking down like some of the things that can affect us physically when working in a work environment. So number one, it's sitting all day.
Mm.
So think about the poor circulation, just sitting behind a screen. What does that do to you emotionally to just sit behind a screen all day?
I'm like, that's why I'm standing right now. My brain
Yes,
doesn't work when I sit. Like, I get super distracted and I can't focus and I'm not as productive. So I had to make some adjustments in my workspace to where I could stand up if I need to.
absolutely. And think about like all of the like it inhibits like your lymph flow because you're sitting down, right? You're
Mm.
sitting all day. So your circulation is crap. And that obviously for obvious reasons is not healthy. Hip and back pain, all of those like
Mm.
aches and pains that you get because your
True.
hair is not aligned, because you're just sitting in a chair all day. Think about when you go on long distance trips in an airplane, they're just like stand up, walk around. You don't want blood clots to form. So think about it. If you're doing an 8-hour trip, which is an 8-hour workday, and you're sitting all day,
It's true.
like think about what that can do to you, that negative effect on your health. And what's interesting is I've seen certain dynamics where people will try to like help support that by doing different things. So I've seen
Mm.
like walking pads. People have, if you have a
I've
work from
seen
home
those. Yep.
big walking pads. I saw someone in the office the other day, those, it's like pedals, they have the pedals
Yes.
underneath their desk, so it's hidden away, you wouldn't know, and they would do those pedals into just to get some of that blood flowing.
Okay.
Other thing is when I've taken long trips, because I tend to swell up, is those like those foot pumps. So your toes are on the floor and then you pump up your
Heels.
heels so that
Really?
you're pumping your calves, that 'cause that's
Interesting.
where our blood clots form in your
Okay.
calves. So essentially, if you're doing those kind of motions with your feet and you're pumping your calves, it moves up some of that fluid and some of the blood. So
Mm.
think about some of those different like things that you can do at your desk to help some of those dynamics.
Yeah.
Get up every hour. So have you heard of that? Like if you're sitting and working 8 hours a day, get up every hour, take a walk, go to the bathroom.
Set your phone timer because it will remind you.
Mm,
But dang, yeah, I should do that one.
yes.
Because I have like 3 really long days at my desk, and those are the days where I'm the crankiest and my body hurts, and then I spend the other 4 days outside and doing all of that type of work, right? Because I try to, like, organize and combine what work I have to do for the day,
Yes.
so I can just knock it all out instead of having like a little bit of outside time and a little bit of tech time. I'm like, nope, knock it all out. But those are the days I'm stressed, I'm miserable, my eyes hurt, and I just don't enjoy being in front of a computer.
I as well. I as well. As much as my work is behind a computer in all aspects, I don't like it either.
Mhm.
For me, it's the lighting.
Mhm.
Light affects me
Big time.
tremendously, and it's hard because obviously if you're working in an office environment, you can't change everything. You
You
can't change the
can't.
lighting fixtures and
Mm-mm.
things, but there may be certain things that you can do to help mitigate some of it.
Yeah.
This one with lighting, I'm looking into getting, like, blue light glasses, and I've also heard of FL41 glasses, which are, like, rose tinted, so they're not totally dark or they don't darken everything, but it just kind of takes the edge off of things, and in
Mm.
my world, I love that because even when it's not even there's not even like, a ray of sun in the sky, I still wear sunglasses when I go out because I just need that, like, um,
Dimming. You need like
dimming.
a dimmer. I would be interested in looking at the rose-colored ones because, for one, what if it gives me a better perspective, right? Rose-colored glasses, see everything a little bit rosier. But, I wouldn't want blue light glasses because they actually make me sleepy because they do start to increase the melatonin in your body, the natural production of melatonin once you reduce
Mm,
that blue light. So for me, I wouldn't want that during the
mhm.
daytime, but I would be interested in looking at this rose thing.
Yes, I just I want to reduce the glare from my computer screen, all the screens
Yeah.
really. And that was my interest in the blue light glasses, but I've read that as well.
Mhm.
I'm definitely wanna look into both of those, and, I'm up for an eye exam, so I know that they have all these different
There you go.
technologies to help some of that, so I wanna look at that. Now, have you thought about air quality in a work environment? So, thinking about those stagnant, offices where you walk in and it feels like 100 degrees,
Yeah.
or they haven't cleaned the dust vents and like all the things, right? Think about air quality in your work environment. This is why it's
Mhm.
important to be able to stand up and walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
With that, I want to talk about just some of the opportunities that you have if you have those kind of environments that need a little support. So,
Mhm.
think about a personal I just saw recently a personal air, purifier, like a desktop one,
Oh,
and
that's
I
great.
that's so great. Like, especially for those nail techs, like, we talked about that in the previous episode.
Mhm.
For folks that are just around chemicals all the time, having that
Mhm.
personal air purifier, I think, would make such a difference. Also, just adding plants to your work environments, like snake
True.
plants and things like that, can help support, just cleaner air and just getting you there's a lot of energy around fresh plants, right? So having that
True.
energy with, your work environment, I think could be really supportive.
And it's super exciting to keep something alive. You're
Yes!
like, "I did it."
And then you could talk to it, right? I
You
know,
can.
you could talk to your plants. My grandmother talked to her plants all the time, and
Oh,
she would just
yes.
like, "I need to, like, encourage it to grow," and now my
Oh,
mother does it with all of our plants, so and
oh,
I know you
yes.
do it too.
I do, and some of them, 'em I'm like, "You grow, girl, you're doing so good," and then other ones I'm like, "You act like you're not even trying, you better step it up because everybody else around here is outshowing you." So, yes, we have many conversations with our plants around here.
Good, good. Because sometimes your coworker's not it, right? But the plant, they
Mm-mm.
always listens. Let's see what else. So, the air filters we talked about, get a personal fan too, because that's another piece of it. I get really cranky when I'm in a dysregulated space, like the heat or the cold or whatever.
Yes.
And it's like, I will never be in a space that if I can make any adjustments and I can control, and I will figure it out for myself.
Yes, it's so true. So you don't even need it just for work. So we bought one. Well, I bought one for Adam to take on trips because
Uh-huh.
hotel rooms never have operating windows and they don't have fans. And I want to suffocate because I need circulation. And so now I even take it with me into the sauna
Oh, really?
because, yes, because I don't mind the heat, right? Because it's an infrared heat. But I need a little bit of that circulation, and man, this thing is so flat, it's, like, no bigger than my hand, right, and it's a square, and then it has a little thing that just pops up so you can do whatever angle you want. It's got 3 different speeds, and you could take it with you anywhere. So, like, if you're at work and you get really hot, like, that's a great option.
Absolutely, because some of these workplace dynamics, it just take away a little of the crankiness away, right? Like,
Yeah.
if by 3 o'clock people are getting hangry, make sure you have your little snacks with you, or you
Mhm.
have, that like the piece of it. Make sure you have those little supports
Yep.
for you.
Your diffuser to up your mood or to drown out stinky coworkers, right? They be stinking up the place after lunchtime. You just get your little fan and blow those oils right their way. You'll be fine.
When I used to work in office, because I work remote now, I used to have oils, and I used to have a coworker that had passed by, and she would say to me all the time, "I know when you're having a bad day, the oils come out."
Mhm.
And it was almost like my, like, smoke screen to everyone, like,
Yeah.
"Stay clear, the black shirt is on, get like, you need to get out
Stay
my
back. It
face."
does. That's
But yeah,
funny.
the diffusion, and especially with all the scents that shift us, the ones that you've been sharing, like, think
Mhm.
about the different, categories, right? So calm.
Oh, yeah.
So those days where you're having an anxious work day, or energy. If you need a little, like, spunk or spice in your day, right? You could give that a little bit of focus. So think about the oils that can pair up and having that in your office, if, of course, your office allows that. We don't want to get written up by HR or something, but that's important
Yeah.
to know. Himalayan salt lamps, they also help with respiratory support. So
Mm,
you're in a space, and not only is it super calming, right? You have
yeah.
when you go into a salt room or you do salt room experiences, that's the benefit of the salt room experience, is to really support your respiratory health. So even in a small sense, having that Himalayan lamp by your side as you work can help with some of that as well.
That's true. I love just looking at it because it visually instantly relaxes me by looking at it, but the one I use, I keep under my desk. It's the one that's like a dome top and it's for your feet. And so it warms up a little bit, but I keep my feet on it and it's good, but I feel like having one up higher that I can see really like affects me a little bit more, so I might have to switch that out.
For sure. It's so, the Himalayan salt lamps and the foot lamp, I think are helpful to also regulate your. So the foot lamp, it warms up, and for me, it just helps calm me down. If I was in a work environment that allowed something like that, I would just use it for those times where I'm like, high anxious day, I need to do this. Or I work with a grounding mat underneath my desk,
That's
and
smart.
I don't, as I said, with the screens and the lights and all the things, like, I just need something to counterbalance that, so those are the supports that I implement to help me as I do some of my work.
Yeah.
Girl, have you heard of tech neck? Tech
Uh, I'm like, I've heard of tech decks, which is the little like finger skateboards. Ashton used to be into the tech decks all the time, but what does that mean? Like where your neck's all stretched out and you're looking all
So
distorted?
when you don't realize when you're on your phone, your head is pointed down, and if your computer is not aligned with kind of,
Mhm.
your where you are, where you're looking, and it's
Mhm.
downward, it's affecting your back, it's affecting your spine, it's affecting all of that, and when you start affecting your spine and your neck, more comes up than just, "I have a sore back." You can get migraines, it can dysregulate your nervous system, you can get vertigo and dizziness. There's so many things that happen when your spine is out of alignment. So
Hmm.
having just noticing the whole tech neck dynamic, right? And that's not just for computers, it's for cell phones as well. And thinking about different ways to support yourself while you're, because if your job is fully remote or you're on a computer, you can't change that dynamic, but
Yeah.
you can change your setup to support the health of your body. So a couple things. Number one, make sure that your screen is at eye level. So get a riser, or, manipulate your screen so that you're not down this way, you're sitting up and you're looking straight on. Make sure that your chair and your desk also supports alignment. So
Mhm.
ideally, your feet are flat on the floor, and then your hips are higher than your knees, so that
Mhm.
your back is supported, and then your elbows should be close to your body, relax, but no shrugging. You shouldn't be typing like this. So your shoulders should be relaxed by your sides.
I was doing this for the longest time where my elbows are on the desk and I'm
Uh-huh.
stretching out and I'm leaning, and oh my god, it took me months to figure out what all my problems were coming from.
Sure.
Shoulder, back, lats, neck, all of these things. So, yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
and once again, if you're doing it for 5 minutes, that's one thing, but this is hours and hours and hours of this position and the tension and strain that you have in different parts of your body that needs to be released.
Yep.
So, Jen, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate these, okay? So I'm going to share with you a few stretches that you can
Okay.
do if you are in an environment that you're working. So when you think about your long work days, Jen, try these out. So chin tuck. So you take your chin and you gently exactly with that face too. So it's essentially making like a double chin, right? But you do it for 5 to 10 reps, and that's going to help support. There you go. That's going to help support your shoulders. That's going to help to support the back of your head and your back of your neck. And you don't realize how tight it is, right? Is it
Yeah,
tight
you
for you?
feel it in your occipital bone. Dang, because that's where it's being pulled forward the whole time, and when you start pulling it back, you're feeling, "Oh, that muscle had to work?"
Right. And you don't realize it until you're like, oh, I have a sore neck, right? So in this like worlds of work, stop for 10 minutes and do some of these stretches. So that's one. Number two are shoulder rolls. So big circles with your shoulders, and you would do it forward and you would do it back. So you'd do once again like 10 reps of that. But once again, even doing it now, I feel the tension
Oh,
in my shoulders and just like my upper back. Do you feel any tension there?
girl, I have never done this.
Really?
Oh, no.
How
I'm
does it feel?
oddly enough, like, I feel it down here, which means I don't know what the hell it means, but I'm like, "I don't know what it means, but it means I clearly need to do this more."
Yes,
But I
yes.
do
So
feel like that I'm able to bring my shoulders down lower than they were.
mhm. Okay, okay. Yeah. So once again, it's like you don't realize that tech neck, right? Or it's cell phone usage or that's affecting all of this. The
Okay.
next one is chest opener. So I'm going to ask you to do this one. Hands behind your back. So like clasp your hands behind your back and gently lift your arms to open up your chest, right? So you go back and right, just like that. And you hold that for 20 to 30 seconds. And that opens up your chest and also releases some of those like tight muscles in your upper back, maybe even your lower back, depending if.
I feel it in my shoulder.
Do you really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, "Oh, it must be because my shoulder's probably so tight from being forward and up all the
Yeah.
time that it's not getting this rotation stretch."
Yes. And then two more. So ear stretches. So you just go from one side to the next. Let's just stretch those ears.
Is that what we're doing? I'm like, "I can stretch them."
There you go.
It actually
Even
feels good, though.
Does it really? And
It
even
really
that, like, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so tight. I'm so tight," like, right back here. And then finally, back stretches. So that's when you just sit up tall and you just gently, like, twist your body side to side, keeping your hips forward. So you're just doing those and you feel it in your lower back and your middle back. And what I'm inviting folks to do is that took what, a few minutes? You can sit at your desk and when you're not talking to anyone or dealing with another person, you can do those simple 5 stretches just to help invigorate you to kind of continue on and also just give your muscles a little bit of ease throughout the day. So that's the gentle motions of the stretches.
or you could or
Uh-oh.
you could make it like a habit to where every single time someone comes to talk to you at your desk, you just instantly start the 5.
Yep.
And then they're like, "What are you doing?" Be like, "Sorry, it's my rule. Every time someone comes to talk to me, I have to take the opportunity to stretch." And then not only are you inspiring them, then it reminds you, "Oh, it's time to stretch again."
It's not a bad idea because tech neck is a thing, right? So you could really inspire other people.
Or
That's a
maybe you can say, "You have whatever you have to tell me, you have as long as these exercise takes. Better hurry it up.
Making up new rules now. I whatever it takes to get you to do these stretches. So yes, you can
Okay.
implement that as well. All right, so we talked about tech neck. Now let's talk about we talked about taking a little walk around and
Mhm.
not sitting for 7 hours, 8 hours at any time. Let's talk about lunch break, girl. People will eat at their desk and just eat and not even enjoy or just take a moment to stop. I am telling you, our ancestors sat down and they ate. They didn't, go around and they weren't multitasking. They weren't doing things and eating at the same time. So give yourself that opportunity to do some stretching, to eat, to rest and digest. Your body is not going to fully receive that food if you are eating and you're typing at the same time, or you're eating and dealing with a circumstance. Like, unless it's a full blown emergency, which you don't have every day, take
Mhm.
that time to center yourself.
I have to think about this one because the more you go through this career shift, you're really helping me to audit these habits. And I'm looking at, my tech days, 3 days a week. Sometimes it's four. I don't want it to be four. It's already a lot because I just don't enjoy being on the computer a lot. And if I can move my computer and take it outside and work, I do.
Hmm.
But I notice now that you're saying this, on the days that I'm doing those long, hard days, I am for sure eating at my desk and computer while I'm multitasking because I am just trying to put every bit of energy I can into getting all of these things done on those days because it's the last thing I want to do. And
Yep.
so I'm like, nope, I'm not taking a break. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to eat while I go so I can just be done because I want to get on to those other 4 glorious days of the week and the different jobs and responsibilities. So I
Yes.
have to sit down and take a break. How do
You
I, what?
too. You have to, because think about it, like the stepping away from that environment, giving your eyes a break, giving your nervous system a break, right? Because you're
Mhm.
like so tense and
Oh, yeah.
and you walk away from it and you put together a lovely meal, or you drink that warm drink and you're sitting outside and you're looking, at your view and just having that one moment. Like, sometimes before calls, in between calls, if it's like back to back to back, I will stop, and in that 10-15 minutes, I play it like a guided meditation. It's not eating lunch, but what it is it just pulls me out of that, like, perpetual space of go, 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 do, do, do. And then when I come back, I don't have that lingering headache, or I don't have that, like, annoyance, or that feeling of like, I have to rush, I have to finish, because that just stresses me out to no end, and it lingers with you. So having that moment to stop and be present with your food is a meditation itself.
I'm gonna have to incorporate that mindfully at my pace because I definitely like as you're saying all this, I'm instantly seeing my ADHD go on nuts, right? I'm in the kitchen and now I'm like, ooh, let's prep applesauce. Let's make homemade applesauce from all the apples that we have in here. And oh my gosh, I'm outside. Oh, the garden needs watering. And then before you know it, I'm I'm out. But one of my focuses that I have been working on had already been thinking about it and marinating on it before the end of the year last year. And I've been really focusing on it in my vision book and implementing it is a very solid organization strategy because that does help calm and control my ADHD. And
Yeah.
so I think once I get a little bit more into the organization, I'll feel comfortable attempting to eat on my tech days outside of the computer, right? And go sit down at the table or be outside. And then I won't feel as distracted because I'll have those organized systems to come right back to where I was and not feel like I have to get it all in at one time or I'll lose track or attention.
So do you know what I've been doing, which has changed? So I had a hard time with this as well.
Mhm.
And so now I pack a lunch. I work from home. Okay.
Yes.
But I pack a lunch as if I was going out to to the office.
It does ensure you eat.
It doesn't sure, and it also takes away you don't wanna make one more decision. When I'm working, I
That's
don't wanna make
true.
one more decision or
That's
think
damn
about
true.
something. So all I wanna do is say, "Okay, it's 12 o'clock. I'm shutting down. I'm getting my food. I'm eating. Then I'm going to
Mhm.
shut my eyes and do a meditation and get ready for my next call." So for me, I'm totally with you. Like I need like schedule instructions, some of that organization. And when I didn't pack a lunch or prepare something, then I was immersed in that. Well, is
Huh.
this enough protein? Should I make a protein shake? Should I order something? Should I go outside?
Huh?
And it's just like I just wanted one less decision to make. So that's something that I've been
I
doing.
like that. Yeah, because when I did work outside of the house, I would pack a lunch like I was leaving for to live in the Appalachian Trail for 2 weeks because I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm away from home. I might not have
Yeah.
food." And so I always have plenty of snacks and things to keep me fueled through the day. So I could do the same thing here. So that would be a good thing to implement.
And a more subtle thing is think about how you're harming your body by not adequately digesting.
Girl, or even skipping eating, that destroys your kidneys. People
Yes.
don't realize that. That's the
Correct.
crap that makes you diabetic too. So
Right.
don't do it.
Right. So now that's why it's like I need to make sure that, I have my schedule, that I'm fulfilling that, I'm doing all the things. And of course, drinking your water too. Your
Mhm.
salted lemon water. That's for me.
Salty water.
All right. And then let me just see if there's anything else that I had missed. So those are some of the physical kind of elements of how your work environment can harm you and just some of the activities that you can do to help counter that.
Okay.
And we get so caught up in go, 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 go that we don't realize, okay, we're going to stop right here. It's the hour on the hour. I'm taking my little walk around the office. Or I'm going to do my calf pumps because today's a busy day. Or I'm going to put this oil in my diffuser to get my
Mhm.
mojo going, right? And for me, if your office allows for it, like music in the background always helps me focus more.
Hmm.
So when I'm having a really, really hard day, I play Christmas music. When I am feeling like I really want to get everyone together, I got that motivational playlist. So
Huh.
that's my own, process, but music as well can be also something to elevate the spirit and really get you in a good space.
Yep, that's true. I do turn on my good vibes tribe and my moonlight Scorpio where I get my spiritual empowerment. We're going to get this thing done energy music on and I do get a lot done now that you say that.
Yeah, it just
Mhm.
it just gets me motivated. So definitely make your playlists.
I mean, it's like going into the club and staying in with a bad attitude. Nobody walks into the club where they're like pumping your jams and they're just like,
Right?
they're all like, that's my song. And they're in. So, yeah, I could see that.
100%, 100%. And it's like, I used to always joke around with my friends and I'm like, I have my own, like the wrestlers, they come in with their song, their pump song.
Oh,
What is
the
it?
walkout song, girl. It's the
Walkout song.
wrestlers and the baseball players.
All of
Yes.
them, all of them. It's like I have so many walkout songs, like when I'm feeling fierce, when I'm feeling goofy, when I'm feeling like I'm ready to attack. Like it's just
Oh,
so play that walkout song, right? When you need that boost or that bump, because
I love
girl,
it.
I could take on the world.
Okay.
Let's talk about some emotional aspects of the job and how that could be keeping you or making you ill.
Okay.
Girl, gossip culture. Gossip culture is toxic, toxic to no end. And it's a tough one because you may not be the instigator of gossip, but it comes to your office, it comes to your desk. People want to share things with you. You
Hmm.
been in that kind of environment, Jen?
I have. I don't think anybody's ever been able to escape that. And then of course people always love to get my opinion on anything in life. So just because they want my opinion on what to cook for dinner, they also want my opinion on Susie and the skirt that she's wearing that's too short. You know what I mean? And so, um, it's like people, like, are hungry to reel you in for it, and, I mean, I've got a lot of opinions, but they definitely shouldn't all be spoken out loud. Well, I have to keep
100%.
that I'm like, "I gotta keep that to myself."
There's definitely, you cannot escape it, unfortunately. That's what I feel like. I feel like you can't escape it. You can only control yourself, and there are a
Mhm,
few things that you can do. Number 1, do not feed the fire. Just, someone comes up to you and says something, just redirect them, and without even scolding or anything, and just say, "I don't have the full picture, so I like to stay neutral," or like, "Do you need help with something here?" Something to the effect where you're not
mm,
engaging,
mhm,
because then you're now an active participant, and of course your name could be thrown in the mud, and you don't ever want that. So do
mhm,
not feed the fire. Be predictably discreet. So, in my current situation, people know that I don't engage. Like when someone shares something with me, I just, I don't add to the conversation. I move on from the conversation. You know how sometimes people say things that are inflammatory, they're like,
mhm.
you hear her tone and no, I didn't hear her tone. And then you just move on and it's like, oh, well, you didn't engage in that. So being predictably discreet or unengaging is also it's a boundary. It's saying, don't come with me with that crap. I'm not engaging in any of this and you could move on from here. So that can be another tactic. Yeah, and just making sure that nothing you can say can be turned around. So that's why if
Mhm.
you are engaging with folks that are, gossipers and you start like, "Oh, yeah," then you become an active participant. So that's also another thing to think about. But
Yeah, because even if you're, like, just trying to stay quiet but you're nodding your head just
yeah,
to, like, let them get it out, they see that as I'm agreeing with you, I'm powwowing with you, I'm saying the same thing as you, and that's not the case, and it's also, like, if we're talking about Susie and her short skirt, we're gonna be like, "Well, does that affect you getting your reports out on time? Or are you
right.
attracted to Susie? What are you coming to me for? I'm not really sure how I can help with this." And then, of course, they're all really weirded out because they're like, "No!" So hopefully
Yes,
they'll leave you alone after that. You can just call them
absolutely.
out in weird ways like that.
These are not your besties. Do not fear a little direct conversation every now and then because it's like, well, where do I come into this equation? When you have
Mhm.
those moments.
Wow, I can't believe you were so comfortable saying that out loud. That's a
Yeah,
good one. I learned
yeah,
that from Sandra.
because it's crazy. It's like, wow, okay, where did that come from? So, yes, please do. Let's talk about the Sunday Scaries. Sunday
Mhm,
Scaries, right? This is another emotional trigger that can be hurting your health. And the
mhm.
Sunday Scaries is that Sunday night where you're starting to worry about, oh, I have to go into work tomorrow, and you start dreading it. You start getting anxious and uncomfortable. And that anxiousness is taking the joy out of the thing you've been waiting for, which is the weekend.
Yeah,
This weekend, you are taking your weekend and you're just throwing it
giving it
down
up.
the yeah, because you wanna, focus on things. So, I have a couple of, suggestions. Suggestion number 1 is in my vision book, I have my joy board or my joy chapter, and we talked about this in the previous podcast. It's important to know what makes you happy. And it's the littlest things from spending a good 15, 20 minutes on a ritual of making tea, all
Mhm,
the way to the bigger things, right? Writing or painting or doing whatever it is that creates joy for you. When you're in that Sunday scaries moment, you're just going in this cycle of anxiousness and worry and all of that. So you don't have the time to think about, oh, what would I rather be doing now? Because you're in that space. So when
mhm.
you're not in that Sunday evening, afternoon slump, have that joy board ready and then pull from that. So there's a shift activation, and I'll talk about later that's going to relate to this, but that's an important piece to know what makes you happy. The other one is we had Kathy Grippy here with us. And when we talked about biohacking happiness, get
Mhm.
laughing, do some of that work. She has incredible resources on her website. Is that type of work that is needed in those moments when you're in that space of anxiousness and thinking and worry, because you want to pull yourself out of that and really be in the present. And hopefully that laughter can do that for you. And then finally, on that Sunday, that Sunday time, schedule some time with people. So it could be cooking with your daughter. It could be calling your bestie that you haven't heard from in years or months or whatever. It could be taking a class. Engaging with other people in a social setting also pulls you out of the thoughts and the thoughts and the thoughts, because we need connection and we need community. And
Mhm.
this is a weekend. This is your time. So do something that fulfills the soul. So if you find a
Mm.
class, do something that you really enjoy. If it's just, and it could be an online class, you don't have to leave your house. So having that engagement with other people, I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times just talking to you, Jen, is like, it's therapy. It just, I come out of it and I'm like, oh, I feel like a new person. And maybe that's a ritual that you have every Sunday. You speak to this one person. So
Mhm.
it could be some of the things that you schedule in to help support you during that time. Did you ever have Sunday scaries?
I didn't, only because I have basically always worked like every day of my life. Like I know it sounds crazy, but like, even looking at the life I have now, it's still representative of more enjoyable working
Yeah.
every day of my life, right? Versus when I was working three separate jobs, never getting to see my family just to pay the bills and feed my kids. It is where I live on my property, right? But 8 acres to maintain is always a job. And yes, we love being here and doing the things, but, you know, might have to put up a fence or fix
Yeah.
a fence that day. And even though I'm going to find a ton of joy in it and we're going to get our music and our vibes and the whole family is going to pop in and we're going to make a fun great time of it. I don't ever have like an off day, if that makes sense. I just
Yeah.
have different things I do each day. And all of my career is always wrapped into my life. So
Sure.
I don't
And
ever have the Sunday scaries, but I can see where that would come into play because my daughter, who is amazing at managing her school schedule, she's likes to check on Sunday night. I want to see what's going on this week so I know what to expect because otherwise I won't sleep well and it'll give me anxiety. And
yes.
if I can look now for 5 minutes, I'll know exactly what I'm going to expect when I walk into classroom on Monday. And then she is totally fine and then she can enjoy the rest of her day. So it definitely affects, you know, children too, but yes, that's when it would be represented here.
Well, your daughter is right on track, because the next thing for Sunday Scaries is to create that schedule. So
Mhm.
thinking about what are you, I like eliminating any choice that I need to make on work days, right? So
Mm.
I like to pick out an outfit in advance. I like to make
Really?
sure yes,
I'm like, I
girl.
don't know how I feel until that day and what I wear. Oh man, that would
I'm telling you, especially when I was going to the office, I would have everything set up. So I would try on the outfit the night before. This is what was I would try it on the night before, have it ready. So if it needed ironing or whatever, it was ready, like
mm,
accessories, all of it. Have my lunch ready, and
mhm.
then my calendar. So those are the 3 things that I would do
Okay.
on Sundays and every day, really, to make sure that when I woke up, I could fully be in whatever needed to be done, because I was pulled in so many different and continuing to be pulled in so many different directions. I don't wanna have to deal with a crisis and then, "Oh, what am I wearing today?" And, "Oh my gosh, does this work? Is this" I don't want any of that. I want it all
Yeah.
streamed. So having that schedule and planning out helps to alleviate some of those, like, anxious thoughts on that, Sunday night.
So you never feel like pigeonholed into like, man, I picked this out last night. Now I don't want to wear it today because it doesn't fit my vibe. Like you never had any of that?
Never. I even do it for social situations, right? So, I have, an active social life. I really enjoy going. So I pick out, okay, even weeks in advance. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to wear this. Yeah. So that's why, like, even when I go on vacation or anything like that,
Mhm.
it's like I have it all. I'm a planner that way. So yeah, that is my process, and it helps alleviate. a lot of
Yeah.
my, like, anxiety. I'm never the person that's, like, packing the day before the day of. Girl, my nervous system could not. I have to pack, like, advance.
Yeah, and, Adam, he used to wear, I used to tease him and say it was his uniform because when I first met him, he'd be in his khaki pants and his polo, and, you know, everything was always,
Yes.
the same, and he's like, "I don't wanna think about it." He's like, "That's one thing I do not wanna have to worry about every single day of my life," and I'm like, "That's, the best part because then you can get creative,"
Yes.
but I could see for sure the benefit in the still creative but planned way that you do it. But I don't know, I want to experiment with that and see what that looks like
Oh,
because sometimes I just stay in my Tabasco pajama pants and that, you know, isn't very inspiring to feel your best and do your best. So I don't know. I might have to try your exercise on for size for a week and see how I feel about it. Cause I guess I don't know until I try.
yeah, I don't like so, like, I don't like being late or rushing. Those are 2 things,
Yes, I
like,
don't like those either. So I mean, it might end up working out for me. I don't know.
yeah. So for me, I'm like, if I have it in advance and I know it looks good and I know that it's, like, fun and, matches the vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I do it, and for, like, 97% of it, it always works out, and then there's those couple of times where I'm like, "Okay, I made a mistake," but for the most part, it's worked for me.
All right. Well, I'll give it a try.
Let's talk about social aspects of work environments and how it hurts or helps us, right? So, do you know that person that works like long hours that takes their work home with them, works, answering emails on the weekend and, at the dinner table, all of that. That is just that's an opportunity in boundary setting and thinking about what you can do to help that because you need for life in general, you need a work-life balance. You need to be able to unplug and stay home with your family. You need to be able to transition out of that, and I'm gonna go
Mhm.
into work from home, circumstances as well because in a work from home circumstance, the lines are blurred, and
Mhm.
maybe with your family all day. And what does that look like? And how do you shut off from work and then shut back into and come back into your family? Some people have a commute home. If you don't have a commute home, you don't have that decompression time, right?
Mhm.
Where you can process all the crap that happened so that when you get to your doorstep, that's that was a that was a past situation, right? So
Mhm.
that's really important to be able to kind of put those 2 together, and I'm sure you have a lot to share about that.
Yeah. So this has been something that we've been trying to refine over all the years, and I feel like we're much better at it now than we have been. Specifically, was really hard with Adam
Mm,
because if his desk was anywhere in our living environment, every time he would walk past it, he had to check something on his computer and this, that, and the other. And, his brain was always getting interrupted too with family stuff. And neither of us, work or him, were getting the best
yeah.
of him. And then he was anxious and things like that. And we would talk about you need a transition time. So I don't know if you have to go for a walk in the neighborhood after you're done, but you have to do something to transition your mind and know that you're done for the day. Now, in the home that we are at now, we have built a completely separate office away from the home. So he has to actually feel like he's going away somewhere.
Okay.
But it's a 3-second walk to the house. So it's still important for him to do that walk before he comes back to the home. But his computer's not there always for him to just check all the time. And so it's done wonders for his productivity and his mental health and emotional health and just to be able to be present in the way he wants to be. For me, I have my office, recording studio, everything inside the home. It's not in a primary area that um is just in the living room or a bedroom or something like that. But I'm pretty good, man. I don't even want to be at the desk. So once I'm done and I know my list is done, I shut my computer off and I'm like, bye, Felicia. I don't want to have anything to do with it. but I do go straight in to doing other things. I
Right.
need to also do my walk and transition because it's better for everyone. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It gets tricky because you have to have that sacred space for work and that sacred space for family,
Mhm.
and you know how they say, like, you should never watch TV in your bed, like, bed should be for
Yes.
sleep and sex, like, those are the 2 things it should be for,
Mhm.
and it's
Mhm.
the same thing, like, you shouldn't, kind of contaminate the 2, and not to say that you need lots and oodles of space,
Sure.
but if you have your particular workstation and you're working there 8 hours a day, then that is what you're doing. You're not scheduling the cable guy to come and doing all the other things because now you are blurring the lines.
Yeah.
And I'm very strict with that, right? It's like when I'm working, I am working. There is no, you know, going to appointments or things like that. Like, we really wanna make sure that we have that. So, having that sacred space is important, having that transition is important, and then also having that schedule. So,
Mhm.
once again, take a lunch break. I don't care if you're working from home, take a lunch break, right? Then 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and your colleagues need to know that whatever time you log off is the time that you log off. It's not infinite time because you work from home.
I'm getting this feeling like there's gonna be a shift sister that's calling me every day at a certain time every day trying to tell me to get off my computer and go have lunch outside or something. I don't know, I'm picking up some energy here.
I don't know either, but I think that shift sister is right.
Mm.
Sister is really looking out because I'm telling you, it has changed me.
Mhm.
And because when I'm done with my break, I just feel like, oh, I'm like it's like a micro nap. You take a micro nap, like those like 5 minute, you close your eyes and you get up and you're like, wow, I feel super refreshed. I feel that way professionally when I have those
Mm.
breaks. So, all right. And then finally, in terms of the social piece of it, the big question is, does my work define me? That's a big one, right? We are taught from an early age, go to college, get a career, and then work, work, work. And that career defines who you are. You're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a posts person, you're all of these things. And I think that we've gone away from what is at the core of who we are. What really sparks us, what really
Yeah.
gives us passion. And you can find that in your work, 100%.
Mhm.
One of the things that I adore about my work is that I come up with creative solutions. I love thinking
Mhm.
outside of the box. You
Mhm.
know, and people will come and say, "I need help with this." And I'm like, "Okay, let's talk about it." So, thinking about your strengths, your talents, what you're looking for, does your job define you? If you were laid off tomorrow, what would you do? Ask yourself that.
That's a hard one, hard one and an easy one for me because I have so much passion and so many ideas and
Yeah.
concepts. I can't live enough lives to make them all come to be. Like, I make myself crazy sometimes because I need a break from myself because I'm like, can you shut the F up? Like, stop coming up with more ideas. And I want to see them all come to fruition.
Of course.
But I can say that I have things in my life now in my career that I'm more aligned with than I've ever been.
Mm,
And it's refining me
mhm.
as well, and even though it means more to me than anything I've done in the past, if for whatever reason something was to happen in the universe and it was no longer to be, yes, I would have a ton of feelings about it, and it would be a part of my identity, but it's not all of my identity
Sure.
because I have so many pieces to me that I would just feed into and lean into the other part of me that I want to highlight. But, you know, it's not everything, but it's super important.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, and that's the place that, we wanna be in, where we know that there is a life outside of work. And
Mhm.
it's almost like when, parents immerse themselves in the parenthood title, and then children grow up and they go away, and it's like, "Who am I? What do I like? Who is this person I'm married to?" And it's that realization of, there's certain things that I could have developed. I didn't realize I was a dancer or a writer, or, I really loved volunteer work or whatever it is, right? So this is just an opportunity to remind folks to just look into that a little bit and,
Mm.
think about those things, and are you living those things? Can
Yeah.
you find space in your time and in your week to implement some more of those things? That's important.
Yep.
All right. So we have a couple of shift activations.
Okay.
So we recently in episode 28 talked about the 5 stages of shifting. And I think it's important to also, as you're looking at kind of the health aspects of work, how you can use that tool as well to make some of those changes, right? So use some of those, and you can go back to that episode and listen to that episode to get all of the 5 stages and also implement it in this particular realm of your career shift. So for activations, let's talk about the joy menu. I want you to create a menu just like you would in a restaurant. So you have your appetizer section, you have your main course, and you have your dessert section. And in that menu, you're going to have different aspects of joy, things that bring you joy. The appetizer section is going to be something a little light, something you could do in a, 5 to 10 or 15-minute span of time. And it's something to kind of get your appetite going, to boost you a little bit, right? So
Okay.
it could be the specialty morning drink. It could be listening to your pump up song. Excuse me. It could be any of those things that really just get your appetite going. Then you have the main entree, right? So this is something that's going to be a bigger activity that's going to take up a little more time and space. So it could be painting, it could be writing, exercising, organizing. These are things that bring some people joy. Not for me, but it brings some people joy. And you want to list out those things that can help bring some of that lighter feeling to you. And then finally, your dessert, which is your slow down, your ending of the meal, the thing that might kind of slow you down and calm your nervous system. So maybe it's a bath or a meditation or reading or stretching or a massage, like some of
Mm.
those different things. And what you want to do is have it at the ready. Because as I said before, when you're in a specific space or headspace, you don't have the time just to say, okay, what can I do right now? Because
Right.
sometimes you just feel like I have nothing, I have nothing. And get creative, right? Maybe there are things that you've always wanted to try. I've always wanted to try knitting. So maybe you have the supplies at home.
Mm.
And when you have those moments, you can pull that kit out and start knitting. So this is just a opportunity for you to take back your weekends, to eliminate the Sunday scaries, and to remember that there is so much joy in your world that you need to continually tap into. And your evenings after work doesn't have to be, just gloom and doom. It could be filled with some of these things as well.
Yeah, I feel like you should make it in Canva
Mhm.
and print it out and put it on your refrigerator.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. And add to it and make sure that because there's certain things that you're going to see in your life or with other people, and you're say, I've never done that, but I think I'm interested in trying that. Add
Mhm.
that to your joy list, even though you don't know if it's going to bring you joy. But
Enjoy
the
my
fun
life.
in trying something new is just wonderful. Also challenge yourself in those circumstances.
Mhm.
Next is my second shift activation is take your journal. You could draw it, you can write it, you can voice note it, whatever it is. Describe your workstation objectively. What's on your workstation, what's under your workstation, what's around your workstation, who's in your workstation. And then review that and think about, is this 100% what I want it to be? And of course, if it's not, then you're going to get to blueprinting, my friend. You're going to blueprint, you're going to draw it out, you're going to write it out, you're going to talk it out and start building that space that really is going to carry you and speak to you in a way that's going to help you in support of what you're doing and also of your health as well. So think about some of the things that is inhibiting your health and certain things that you can add to your environment to support that or even take away. So that is a
Mm.
second shift activation. So this was such a fun chat. Thank you, Jen, for another kind of exploration down the rabbit hole of career shifts and all the things that we can do to help support ourselves in this time. And I'm inviting anyone out there, if you have your blueprints, if you have your thoughts, or even some of your joy boards, I'd love to see it, because I need some support in my joy boards. I'm not sure about you, Jen, but I'd love to get some ideas. So hop on to our socials and share that with us. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, you never know. I might get creative and I'll make a Canva joy menu template and I can share it in our Facebook Shift Circle group. And then all of our shifties in there can download it and edit it theirs however they want. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if I'm actually going to get to it, but maybe I will. But if I make it for myself, I might as well make it for everybody. But I definitely would like to do this shift activation.
It's really, I'm excited. I have it all written in like bullet points, and I just want to keep adding and adding and adding to it. So,
Hmm.
all right, until next time, Shifties, thanks for listening. And that's it for today's shift. Thank you so much for sharing this space with us. If you're loving the conversation, become a Shifty. Like, follow, subscribe, and most of all, share this episode with someone who's shifting too, or someone who seriously needs to get their shift together.
Do you have thoughts, questions, topic requests, or maybe you're feeling the nudge to collaborate? Visit us at shiftsisterpodcast.com. We'd love to hear from you. We're so grateful for your presence, your friendship, and your willingness to do the work with us. Because shift happens and we're not meant to do it alone.
We'll meet you back here next time to breathe, reflect, and talk shift.